It's another crazy Mask Monday, guys, and this one really is mask-erific. Hey guys, Jay, welcome back to the channel. Holy crap, everybody. Mask Monday is becoming a constant thing right now, and I gotta tell you, thanks to our good friend over at Toy Hunters Hollow, we found out today that Mask just showcased some brand new updates, and really shocking updates in a lot of ways, as they're including additional masks with their figures, and these ones are truly, truly special. I want to take a deep dive into this and see exactly what was announced on the Loyal Subjects Instagram page, and huge shout out to the Toy Hunters Hollow for the heads up. Let's take a look, everybody. I want to give a huge shout out to Toy Hunters Hollow on Instagram. They are on the ball with Mask and all the updates from the Loyal Subjects, and I am over the moon with what they just posted. Give Toy Hunters Hollow a like and a follow. Tell them that Jay sent you. Guys, over at Toy Hunters Hollow, they showcased this incredible photo, and I was absolutely blown away by what I'm seeing here. This led me back to the Loyal Subjects and clicking on the very first image. Yes, indeed, everybody, it is true. Loyal Subjects have just updated their mask profile, and it is a doozy. Let's check out the update itself. Zooming in, we can see that the Loyal Subjects are saying that it's time for another Mask Monday. I love it. And this time, we've got a surprise for you. Inspired by the rare long mask accessories from the original Mask line, each mask figure will come with a second mask. Oh my god, that's crazy. These new updates will feature exciting power-up effects that showcase the fantastic power of each mask. Obviously, they can't say blast effects. I think Hasbro kind of put that in play, but these are absolutely insane. And I want to take a look at each of the masks and their updates, because these really do harken to the original release from Mask back in 1985. Let's have a look, everybody. First up, we do have Brad Turner, the Brave pilot of Condor, who will feature two versions of his signature mask, which he can use to create powerful illusions to thwart Miles' mayhem. This is freaking awesome. And as we can see here, they do, in fact, have the two versions of the mask, the original short mask, as they call it, and the elusive long mask, which actually goes all the way down to their chest, really giving it that interesting appearance of having more of a armor type of aesthetic, which is awesome. But adding to that feature is that incredible blast effect. I'm gonna just keep calling them blast effects. I know they're calling them power-up effects, but I'm used to blast effects, and this is awesome. As we know, Hocus Pocus actually throws holograms out to try and trick a foe who's actually getting the upper hand on Mask, just to give them a little bit more of an advantage. And I gotta tell you, this is freaking awesome. Look at this. It looks like it's literally throwing holograms right into the front, and I love the little effects here, little tiny splashes. It actually looks like it's radiating energy. I wonder if it's also doubles as a blast effect in terms of like an attack. I'm not really sure if Hocus Pocus actually did attacks with the mask itself, but that is really cool to look at, and I really do love this. Oh my gosh, guys, this really is adding to the whole idea of a release like this, because as we already know, these are literally, and I do mean literally, the same style of action figures and vehicles from the 1985 releases, pretty much as close as they could get them. And in so much that that's great for collectors, at the same time it doesn't really add anything, new to the whole idea of the collection piece. As a matter of fact, a lot of collectors might have actually been worried that you could easily swap them out or maybe even use them as counterfeit versions for the original vintage collection. Having said that, these, and adding these new blast effects, these new overall sculpts, this really does bring it up to 11 and really negates that whole idea of what was possible in terms of trying to scalp somebody for something completely different and non-related. So this is freaking amazing. Here's Brad Turner as he appears with this brand new full long mask, and I gotta tell you, he looks freaking amazing. It is actually also showcasing some of the additional features, including the arms, the way they pivot, the legs, which also have additional articulation, which was not in the original characters, and of course the overall new color schemes, which are more in line with what they appeared in the cartoon, which I really, really love. This new long version of the mask looks great, and you can really see how it really covers the front portion of the chest, very much like the original vintage version. These apparently were very rare in their overall release. A wonderful nod to the original vintage versions that Kenner originally had in their collection. Let's take a look at the next figure, who of course is the heroic Matt Trakker, pilot of the Thunderhawk, with his new Spectrum mask, which can unlock a toolkit of awesome and extraordinary powers to make sure that the team comes out victorious. That was the one thing about Spectrum. I mean, if I remember it correctly, it can like do a hover mode and so many other different effects that could be done with this. It was kind of like a little bit, overpowered and a very OP type of mask, but it really was amazing. And here we have the two different versions available, and they will also be included in this collection. The original mask looks awesome. I do love the way it looks, and of course, more styled towards the cartoon aesthetic for the mask line. And then we have the long mask, which of course is signatured by the fact that it comes over the chest and off the back. And it does have these two little, almost like breathing apparatuses on the sides, maybe if it's a power pack or something like that. And I love the way this is overall designed. And then there is the freaking blast effect, which looks amazing. It's a bit different compared to Brad's blast effect. You can really see how much thicker Brad's effect is, and the fact that the mask is shaped to accommodate that. But this one, it really is kind of narrow focused. It's got that huge, bubbling effect at the side with the almost like spikes protruding, like little lights on the sides and the top. It's really, really cool. I am really excited with this new upgrade for these masks. It really is giving a signature piece to this line, which originally, I have to say, did not have that kind of, signature idea. And this really is bringing that forward to 2025, and I'm loving it. This is amazing. Here he is with the mask on the figure, and it looks amazing. This is actually one that I remember because my cousin actually had this version with the long mask as it covered the front of his chest, and I gotta tell you, it really is a wonderful nod to the history of mask. He looks so great, and you can see all of that additional articulation. This is going to be a wonderful addition to your collection, and I can't wait until we get these into our hands. This is amazing. Moving on to the next figure in the line, it is the villainous Miles Mayhem, who comes with his evil Viper mask, which he can use to fire blasts of corrosive poison at the mask team. Will he rise victorious? This is crazy, everybody. And as we can see here, the short mask and the long mask actually don't look that different with Miles. I believe that actually was the case. I don't believe he really had a long version of his mask. At least that's what's depicted here. And we can see that the blast effect is pretty much indicative of how you would see it in the show, coming out of the indica at the top. Viper, of course, being a poisonous snake, really allows for that green venomous liquid to come out shooting from the front and giving Viper its signature name. This is awesome, and I can't wait until we add this Miles Mayhem and Viper to our collection. He looks absolutely stunning. And again, because they're really leaning into this mask cartoon aesthetic, it really is giving this overall idea that this collector line is definitely upgraded for 2025. And I think a lot of collectors are going to be chomping at the bit to pick up every single one of these. The price point is a little bit daunting, but I got to tell you, collectors often do not care, as the vintage market is commanding incredible prices for in-box collections of mask. And I think that trend will continue with these brand new collections going forward. This is incredible. And last but not least, we do get the mobile defense unit piloted by Bruce Sato and Matt Trakker. Each will come with their incredible and powerful masks. The wise Bruce Sato uses his lifter mask to control gravity and levitate, while Matt Trakker's ultra flash mask lets him blind his attackers with a white hot blast of blinding light. This is awesome. So I was apparently mistaken. I was thinking that, Spectrum had the power to levitate things. I'm still sort of remembering something like that. Somebody can correct me in the comment section below, but apparently it is Bruce Sato who has that ability. He, of course, was one of the characters who was front and center in the mask opening, and he looks amazing here, very much in the cartoon aesthetic of the mask design. And his second long mask looking so great as well. We can really see just how much of a difference there is between the two masks, one being really, really short, the other one being incredibly long, coming over the chest and on the back. And then there's that incredible blast effect, which really does look like some sort of tractor beam, some sort of like levitation cone. I love it. This is so great. And again, adding that signature piece to these figures, which really was not present originally when they designed these. And I really am glad they're including these figures in the 2025 version. This is amazing. We also have Matt Trakker and his second mask, which many fans will probably recognize as the actual mask, which is featured on the mask logo itself. A little bit more stylized, if you will, but you cannot deny that this is the exact same mask that Matt Trakker is wearing when he pilots Rhino. This is crazy, everybody. The two versions of the mask, of course, are signature to the character, looking exactly the way they did in the cartoon. And then this long version of the mask is just so wonderfully redesigned. I love it. That blast effect, of course, giving that signature flash effect, as was mentioned in the description on this press release. And this looks absolutely amazing. Both of these characters look stunning in their overall appearance. I love the way they've updated this for 2025, and this, again, puts that signature piece onto this release, as prior to this, there really was no additional reason to pick these up. If you already had the vintage versions, the only reason being to upgrade your original collection, if that's what you were thinking. But these, adding that additional piece of a secondary mask included, as well as the blast effect, really does give it that signature piece, which collectors just love in terms of their overall collecting habits. Mask is continuing with Mask Monday, and the loyal subjects are really killing it in terms of their releases lately. Guys, I want to give another huge shout out to our good friend Toy Hunters Hollow on Instagram. He's really on the ball with all these brand new releases from all the action figure toy companies. Definitely give him a like and a follow. Tell him that Jay sent you. Mask is celebrating their 40th anniversary in 2025. And it really looks like the loyal subjects are trying to make this the best mask collection for the original collectors of Mask. And I gotta tell you, they are doing a bang-up job. Proving without a doubt that Mask is the mighty power can save the day. Okay, this is an update. Now, Mask has always been one of those toy lines which collectors have really gravitated towards. As a matter of fact, the announcement that the loyal subjects were going to have this license in 2025 literally blew the socks off of most collectors. And it really was kind of a shock to our good friends over at Ramen Toy, who were hoping to make Mask a very signature piece of their collecting item. However, there was a little bit of a concern. Well, I suppose it wasn't so much a concern. If you were into the overall aesthetic for Mask and really didn't want anything to change, you got exactly what you wanted. With the loyal subjects announcement that they would be doing exactly the same type of mold, more or less exactly the same type of characters, and that was pretty good news for a lot of people. However, for anybody who was kind of like, I really like Mask, but this is 2025. We need something new. We need something different. Well, that kind of fell short considering the fact that they were just as small and just as articulated pretty much on the vehicle side. It was a bit of an upgrade on the characters, having new articulations for the arms, a bit more articulations of the legs. But other than that, they were pretty much, well, I suppose also the cartoon aesthetic was leaning into that was really big as well. But other than that, there really wasn't much else to talk about the Mask line. Today, though, that all changed with the addition of the second Mask, which for collectors is absolutely huge, as that portion was rather hard to get as collectors, seeing as if you already bought one version of Thunderhawk, you didn't really need to buy a second version of Thunderhawk. And now, being included in this collection makes it very desirable for collectors. And then adding that cherry on top of the blast effects, the power-up effects, just chef's kiss all over. And this is a true reason to make collectors want and salivate over this type of collector's item, as this is the type of little addition to a collector's item that fans and collectors just absolutely eat up. Let me know in the comment section below, guys. Are you interested in picking up Mask, even from the original release date, and are really excited about this brand new news from the loyal subjects and Hasbro? As adding these additional new features and extra masks really does give it that extra little oomph that you needed to get you over that purchasing line so that you would definitely want to collect this. Or is this still not really enough and the price point is just a little bit of a barrier to entry and you'd rather that it come down a few dollars just to make it a little bit more affordable for collectors in this type of economy, especially considering the fact that these terrible tariffs still loom over everybody's heads? Let me know those comments in the comment section below, guys. If you enjoyed this episode, guys, please do leave me a like. It really does help me out. Toy news continues in 2025. As a matter of fact, Mondo just dropped details about their 1/6 scale Beastman Filmation edition. And I gotta tell you, I am not impressed at their overall Release schedule, as you guys already know. I am so frustrated by this whole idea, but this Beastman looks absolutely insane. And I cover all those details about what he looks like in this video right here. You can have a look at that, and I'll see you guys there. Hope you're all doing well, staying safe, and as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Mask is the mighty power that can save the day, and now, collectors really want it even more. Good journey, everybody. Geek proud.